Have you ever felt like no matter how much you exercise or stay active, something still feels off? As we age, staying physically active is often touted as the key to maintaining good health. But what if I told you that there's something even more powerful than physical activity for your well-being? What if slowing down and embracing a different approach could make you feel more at peace and more fulfilled in your later years? In today's video, I'm going to share 3 simple yet profound practices rooted in ancient Buddhist teachings that can truly transform your life. These aren't the usual tips about staying fit or keeping busy. These are life-changing truths that focus on inner peace, mindfulness, and finding joy from within. So, why should you stick around until the end? Because the third practice might be exactly what you need to feel more connected, calm, and content as you age. This video is not about generic advice you've heard 1,000 times before. We're diving deeper, exploring what really matters for your health, happiness, and peace of mind as you grow older. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the pressures of staying active or wondered how to live these years more meaningfully, this is for you. By the end of this video, you'll discover a more fulfilling way to approach aging, one that goes beyond the physical and nurtures the mind and soul. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading these valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1 below. If you don't, comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Let me share a story that continues to deeply move me and change the way I view life. It happened just a few weeks ago, on a peaceful afternoon in a local park. I had gone there to clear my mind, to get away from the usual hustle and bustle, and just be present in the moment. As I strolled through the park, something caught my eye, a man sitting alone on a bench. His weathered face was lit up with a soft, knowing smile. There was something about him, something in his expression, that made me pause. It was as if he had discovered a secret about life, one that I had been desperately searching for myself, but had yet to uncover. I felt a pull to approach him, a quiet curiosity that urged me to ask him about that smile, about the peace he seemed to carry with him. So without hesitation, I walked over to him and sat down. We exchanged a few pleasantries, and soon enough, the conversation deepened. What struck me most was the calmness in his voice, the weight of experience in every word he spoke. He looked at me with eyes that seemed to have seen both the beauty and the pain of the world, eyes that had witnessed the ebb and flow of life. It was in those eyes that I could sense a profound wisdom, a wisdom that came only after years of living, of learning, and of growing. He began to tell me about his life, how, like many of us, he had once been caught up in the frantic chase for success, achievement, and approval. When I was younger, he said, I thought happiness was all about doing it all, climbing the career ladder, raising children, taking care of my family, meeting expectations. I believe pulling us in 1,000 different directions. We're told that to be successful, to be happy, we need to be constantly doing, achieving, and proving ourselves. But he had learned over time that true happiness comes when we stop the endless chase that allows us to hear our thoughts, to reconnect with who we truly are beneath the layers of societal expectations. But what if, instead of seeing those things as failures, we could embrace them as part of who we are? I've lived through a lot of hardships, he said, his voice tinged with both sorrow and acceptance. I've made mistakes, and I've lost things I can never get back. But I've come to realize that none of that defines me. The only thing that matters is how I choose to live now, with the wisdom of my experiences. Imperfection is part of being human, and when you accept it, you find freedom. I could feel his words sinking deep into my heart. Conscious decision to move through life at a more measured pace. Paradoxically, this choice can help you accomplish so much more, not in terms of quantity, but in quality. As we grow older, our bodies naturally require more rest and recovery. But it's not just physical rest we need. Our minds also crave a pause, a moment to catch up with the world that's constantly moving around us. Yet even as our bodies slow down, our minds don't always follow suit. They urge us to keep going, to keep achieving, and to keep pushing ourselves, almost as though slowing down equals failure. This mindset is deeply ingrained in us, and it's hard to shake off. We've been taught to equate productivity with worth, and so the idea of slowing down can feel unsettling, even uncomfortable. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if slowing down actually allows us to live more fully and experience life in a deeper, more meaningful way? Buddhist teachings, for example, encourage us to slow down, not just in the physical sense but in our minds as well. The practice of mindfulness teaches that slowing down allows us to experience the present moment more fully, immersing ourselves in our activities without the distraction of rushing or multitasking. It's a paradox. When we slow down, we achieve more, not in terms of what we produce, but in terms of what we experience. Think about it. How many times have you been in a rush, trying to accomplish everything on your to-do list, only to find that you're too scattered to do anything well? When we rush, we dilute our focus, and what's meant to bring us joy or satisfaction often becomes a blur. But when we slow down, when we focus our attention on one thing at a time, the experience becomes richer. It could be something as simple as cooking a meal, walking in nature, or even having a conversation. When you're fully immersed in the present, every small detail becomes significant. The smell of fresh herbs as you prepare dinner, the feel of your feet on the ground as you walk, the expression on a loved one's face as they speak. These are the moments that make life meaningful. One of the most powerful ways to begin this process is to take small intentional steps. Start by setting aside time each morning for yourself before the demands of the day take over. Permit yourself to have a quiet start, free from the pressure of checking emails, scrolling through social media, or rushing to get out the door. It could be as simple as sitting down with a cup of tea or coffee without any distractions. Take a moment to savor the warmth of the cup in your hands, the aroma of your drink filling your senses. Let your eyes wander to the window and notice the world outside. Perhaps it's the rustling of leaves or the way the morning light bathes everything in a soft glow. These moments, though seemingly insignificant, have the power to ground you and remind you that life is not something to rush through, but something to be experienced. This is not just a form of rest. It's an invitation to be present in your own life. Mindfulness isn't just about taking breaks or finding time to relax. It's about engaging with the world in a way that brings clarity and peace to your mind and heart. It's about reconnecting with yourself, acknowledging your own needs, and embracing the simplicity of being. We often think that slowing down means falling behind or losing touch with the world, but in reality, it's the opposite. When we allow ourselves to slow down, we gain perspective. We become more attuned to our bodies, our emotions, and our surroundings. We become more attuned to life itself. As you reflect on your own pace, ask yourself, what speed am I living at right now? Am I constantly rushing from one task to the next, feeling like there's never enough time? Am I racing against the clock, even as my body signals that it needs rest? If you find that you're always in a hurry, always chasing the next thing, take a moment to pause. Notice how your body feels, how your mind feels. Is this the life you want to lead? Is this the kind of pace that aligns with your deeper values? Age, especially as we get older, is often a time when we are given the gift of perspective. It's a time to reflect on the choices we've made, the lessons we've learned, and the wisdom we've gathered. But it's also a time to slow down and savor the moments we still have. It's not about racing to the finish line, but about living each day with intention, with presence, and with gratitude. Slowing down is not a sign of weakness or defeat. It's a sign of strength, wisdom, and the courage to live life at your own pace. In a world that constantly pushes us to do more, be more, and achieve more, slowing down becomes a radical act of self-care. It's an act of reclaiming your time, your peace, and your sense of self. It's an invitation to stop living on autopilot and start truly living. So take a moment to breathe, let go of the rush, allow yourself to be present, to savor the small moments, and to embrace the beautiful, slow rhythm of life. The second piece of advice is to find joy in simple things. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment to "be" below to let me know that you're still here with me. In a world that moves so quickly, it's easy to forget that true happiness doesn't reside in big achievements, dramatic milestones, or monumental successes. According to Buddhist teachings, happiness isn't something we chase after through grand goals or worldly accomplishments. Instead, it's found in the quiet, everyday moments that often slip by unnoticed. The small, precious instances that make up the fabric of our lives. Buddhism teaches us to look within, to appreciate the simplicity of life, and to find peace in the present moment. Too often, we fall into the trap of thinking that to be truly happy, we need more health, more time, more money, more success. We believe happiness is something just out of reach, something we'll attain once we have enough of these external things. But this belief is an illusion, a mirage that leads only to disappointment. The truth is, we've been conditioned to overlook the simplicity of the present moment, where real treasure lies. Happiness isn't something we must wait for or chase. It's already here, within our grasp, right now. All we need to do is slow down and begin to notice the beauty and joy present in the small, simple moments of our lives. I encourage you to try this small but powerful experiment. Each day, consciously seek out and identify 3 things that bring you joy. These moments don't need to be grand or extraordinary. Perhaps it's the taste of your favorite meal, nourishing not just your body but your soul, or the warmth of sunlight on your face that gently reminds you that you are alive. It could be a kind word from a friend, or a peaceful moment of stillness where you feel completely in tune with your surroundings. These moments are all around us, waiting to be noticed and appreciated. Write them down, keep a journal, or simply make a mental note. The act of acknowledging these moments is powerful because it grounds us in the present. Why is this practice so important? Our minds are naturally inclined to focus on problems, on what's wrong or what's lacking. We spend so much energy dwelling on what we don't have or what we think we need to feel complete. It's easy to get trapped in a cycle of negativity, fixating on what's missing and losing sight of what we already have. By actively seeking out moments of joy, we train our minds to shift focus. We stop dwelling on the negative and begin tuning into the positive, the little moments of beauty that often go unnoticed. Over time, this shift in perspective transforms the way we experience life. We become more mindful, more aware, and more deeply connected to the present. How does this practice relate to Buddhism? At the heart of Buddhist teachings is the belief that life, in all its imperfections, is a source of joy and contentment. Buddhists teach us to embrace life as it is, with all of its ups and downs, without constantly striving to change or control it. Life, in its purest form, is a gift. When we learn to appreciate the simplicity of what is, without the need for more, contentment and peace naturally arise within us. The practice of mindfulness, of fully immersing ourselves in the present moment, is central to Buddhist philosophy. By learning to value small, often overlooked things like the warmth of a hug, the scent of rain, or the quiet beauty of nature, we can cultivate a deeper sense of peace and balance. The more we practice, the more we realize that happiness isn't something we have to wait for. It's something we can create, right here, right now. The practice of finding joy in the simple things helps quiet the noise of the world and reconnects us with what truly matters. It allows us to slow down, to be present, and to remember that happiness isn't a distant destination. It's something we can experience every single day, simply by paying attention to the little moments of wonder that surround us. In those moments, we find peace, contentment, and a deeper sense of connection to life itself. The third piece of advice is to embrace the profound practice of gratitude. Gratitude isn't just a surface-level gesture or a fleeting moment of thankfulness. It's a deeply transformative state of mind, one that can shift the entire trajectory of your life when approached with sincerity and intention. Gratitude has the power to open our hearts and minds, connecting us to the present moment in a way that no other practice can. It allows us to see not only the things we have yet to attain, but more importantly, the abundance already present in our lives. In Buddhism, gratitude is considered a bridge between our hearts and the vastness of the world around us. It draws us closer to both our inner selves and the larger universe, inviting us to notice what we often overlook in our busy, distracted lives. Gratitude teaches us to focus not on what we lack, but on what we already possess. It shifts our gaze from longing to appreciation, opening our eyes to the quiet blessings that surround us. Small, often unnoticed moments of beauty and joy that we take for granted, like a warm cup of coffee in the morning, the sound of birdsong in the air, or the kindness of a stranger. This practice of gratitude doesn't just change our thoughts, it transforms how we feel and in turn how we live. It creates a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment rooted in the understanding that we are already whole, already blessed. In Buddhist philosophy, gratitude is like a flower blooming in the heart. With every act of gratitude, this flower opens wider, its petals unfurling to reveal a profound sense of peace and connection. And the beauty of this flower doesn't stay contained within. It radiates outward, softening our interactions with others, deepening our relationships, and fostering more meaningful connections. When we express gratitude to others, we aren't just acknowledging their kindness, we are strengthening the bond between us, creating an energetic exchange of love and appreciation. Gratitude shifts our view of the world too, allowing us to see life's imperfections and flaws with greater compassion and understanding. Instead of feeling frustrated by life's challenges, we begin to accept them with grace, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to our happiness. So how can we integrate this life-changing practice into our daily lives, especially in our later years when the weight of regret and worry often takes hold? The answer is simple. Make time for gratitude, and it will transform everything. Set aside a few minutes each evening, just before you fall asleep or as you wind down from the day, to reflect on the moments that have touched you. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing yourself to slow down and savor the peace of the present moment. Think of 3 things you are genuinely grateful for, no matter how small or insignificant they may seem. These don't need to be grand accomplishments or dramatic life events. Sometimes, the most profound moments of gratitude come from the simplest things. Perhaps you're grateful for the comforting warmth of a meal, the laughter of a loved one, or the quiet beauty of a sunset. Maybe it's the sense of relief after a long walk, or the comfort of a good night's sleep. These are the little treasures of life that often go unnoticed. But when we stop and acknowledge them, they become the very fabric of our happiness. Consider writing these things down in a journal, or speaking them aloud as if you are offering them as a prayer or tribute to the universe itself. Let your words be filled with reverence and appreciation. Gratitude is not only about recognizing external blessings, it's also about turning inward and acknowledging the qualities that make us who we are. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Take a moment to reflect on your personal growth, on the challenges you've faced and the wisdom you've gained over the years. Think about your resilience, your ability to adapt to life's ever-changing circumstances, and the strength you've cultivated within yourself. Acknowledge your capacity to love, your willingness to show up for others, and your openness to life's many surprises, even in times of struggle. Be grateful for the lessons learned and the inner growth that has emerged from those experiences. Why is this practice so powerful, especially as we age? As the years go by, it's natural for our minds to drift toward the past, to dwell on regrets, lost opportunities, or unfulfilled dreams. We may also worry about the future, what's to come, what we might lose, or what we might miss out on. Fear, anxiety, and dissatisfaction can easily take root. Before we know it, our hearts and minds become clouded with negative thoughts. This is where gratitude becomes a true lifeline. It breaks the cycle of dwelling in the past or fearing the future by grounding us firmly in the present. It reminds us that this very moment, the one we're living right now, holds more than enough beauty and grace to be thankful for. In that moment of awareness, we are freed from the burden of regret and fear, allowing us to experience the fullness of life as it is. Gratitude, like a flower, blooms in our hearts. As it grows, it nurtures everything in its path, filling us with peace, joy, and a profound sense of connection. It strengthens our relationships, making us more present and attentive to others. It softens our perspective, allowing us to approach life with curiosity and wonder instead of judgment and frustration. And most importantly, it helps us see the beauty in the imperfections of life, our own imperfections, and the imperfections of the world around us. Gratitude doesn't erase life's difficulties, but it transforms our relationship with them. It teaches us to see challenges not as burdens, but as opportunities for growth, learning, and connection. If you want to deepen this practice, begin by incorporating gratitude into the smallest moments of your day. Notice the little things that often go unnoticed. The scent of fresh flowers in your garden, the sound of a loved one's voice, or the simple pleasure of a quiet morning. Each act of gratitude, no matter how small, is like a stone dropped into a pond, sending ripples of peace and joy through your life. Over time, these ripples will grow, expanding outward and touching everything you do. Gratitude, when practiced with intention and consistency, has the power to transform your life. It brings peace, joy, and a sense of connectedness that transcends the ordinary. It reminds us that we are never alone, that we are always held by the present moment, and that there is always something to be grateful for. As we wrap up today's discussion on the transformative power of gratitude, I hope you've gained a deeper understanding of how this simple yet profound practice can change the way you experience life. From the quiet blessings of everyday moments to the inner peace that comes from focusing on what you already have, gratitude has the power to shift your perspective and bring more fulfillment into your life. So take a moment to reflect. What have you learned from this video so far? Is there one thing you've discovered that you'll start practicing in your daily life? I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one aspect of gratitude that you're going to bring into your routine. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights on living a fulfilling life. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for being part of this community.